What's going on, guys? Tower number 9 here, and we have a crazy video for you today. There have been two new cards revealed. I think this might be the first time either of these cards have been shown online, and yeah, they're pretty wild. We're gonna get right to it. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, let's see what we got here. So going over to this, just a little bit of context. So this is the um I personally didn't think we are going to see any new spoilers until like months from now, with like May the 4th maybe being the earliest time. There are two new cards that have made their way to the internet. I think it's the first time they've been seen, either the art or the text for these cards. I don't think they've been seen at all in connection with Star Wars Unlimited, like no trade show images or whatever. I know there's like a few things, like there's a card with young Lando or whatever, where we've seen the art but not the card. Interestingly, both of these actually draw on the old Legends material, which is, as far as I know, no longer canon. So like, I think people who know more about the canon than me will have to say more about whether or not that some of this stuff is still around. I personally thought it wasn't, and yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a pretty big surprise for some in both rules and themes. So without further ado, let's get right to it. First up, we have Maw Installation. This is the first 20 HP base in the game. In lore, this was a facility that was developing secret weapons for the Empire. I don't know. Oops, sorry. I don't know if this is actually still canon. Um, I know of it from old Legends books. Maybe it's still in some book somewhere. I don't actually know. Anyway, super weapon units you play come into play ready. Disaster units cost you 2 resources less to play. So we haven't seen any super weapon units yet, and for disaster events, I believe the current ones we have are Super Laser Blast and Smoke and Cinders. So Smoke and Cinders makes everyone discard down to 2 cards in hand, and Super Laser Blast defeats all units. So being able to play those faster. Smoke and Cinders is honestly a really bad card right now, so that probably doesn't matter that much unless we see something that like triggers every time someone discards a card, something like that. I don't know. But Super Laser Blast for 6 instead of 8, or Super Laser Blast out of aspect for 8, it could be nasty, especially like if you're playing it for 6. Like if you have like a green blue Maw installation deck, and your opponent deploys a leader on 6, and you just play a Super Laser Blast and clear out the board. That could be pretty good. Now, 20 HP though is really, really bad. Like, even, I think Sabine might well be able to do 20 damage to you before you even get a chance to play that Super Laser Blast. So this is going to be extremely vulnerable to aggro in exchange for these stronger disaster events. And on the other hand, I guess the strong disasters do give you a chance to potentially try and reset the board before aggro can defeat you, and then super weapon units are presumably very endgame. So interesting kind of gamble of a base where you're going lower HP in exchange for being able to wipe the board faster. And, maybe there's more disaster events we haven't seen that will synergize with this. And then super weapons are really strong. So then next up, I guess lore-wise, this is something in the shadows of the galaxy. This was hidden in a like cluster of black holes, which I guess is what's represented by the art. They're cool art, by the way. And I think that the idea was this was like a hidden base in this area that people thought, oh, nobody could get to, but there was actually some route that would go around the black holes and get you to this facility. So in some sense, it was very much a shadows type thing, but not something I for one had expected to see. Um, or not something I would have predicted would be in the game. Let's say that. All right, and then next up, this is actually even crazier than Maw installation. We have Suncrusher Karita's Bane. This is a 15 cost command villainy unit. It has the Imperial Fighter and Super Weapon traits. It is a 3/11 with Saboteur, and when this unit attacks a base, defeat that base. Now, lore-wise, the Suncrusher was invented at the Maw installation, so it kind of makes sense that these two would go together. And this was like, actually, it's really crazy that they would put this in, honestly. Like, this was the concept of this is really weird. It's like a ship that was basically the size of a fighter, but it had like torpedoes that could cause a sun to go supernova and just like blow up the whole system. So it was it was an ultimate secret weapon that had been developed out at the Maw installation, and the subtitle Kurita's Bane, I believe, refers to there was a planet or a system called Kurita that was destroyed by the Suncrusher. Anyway, gameplay wise, it is a payoff card for Galactic Ambition. That's how I see this essentially. So, like, are you even gonna? Are you like? I'm not ever sure I've ever seen a game actually get to 15 resources. I think you will almost never play this normally. And if you do, its stats for the price are horrible. Like 311 for 15 is really, really, really bad. Like compare it to like Devastator for 10, which is a 10/10 that has really good like abilities and stuff. But it has really good defense, and if it gets to attack, you win the game. So because it has Saboteur, Sentinels can't stop it. That's like lore. That's accurate to the lore, I think. So this thing was also like I forget exactly what it was, but it was like incredibly armored to the point where normal weapons basically couldn't affect it. And at one point, someone tried to stop it by like surrounding it with ships, and it rammed through one of the ships to escape. But like because all the shots or whatever that were fired on it couldn't penetrate its armor, but they had blown all the like external weapons off it, so it didn't have any weapons itself, but it was still able to ram through to get away. Really weird. And, it makes sense that it would have Saboteur given that, assistant patrol craft or whatever. I guess this thing can just crash on through. But so the combination of Saboteur and defeating a base on attack is pretty strong, as you might imagine. If this gets to attack, you win the game. So it combos with the Maw installation because the Maw installation allows super weapon units you play to come into play ready. So that's kind of a natural combo. It is extremely vulnerable to Vanquish and Entrenched. Like if you play this card and the opponent entrenches it, I think that is an extremely funny outcome because all of a sudden you have this super ship that will win the game immediately if it attacks the base, and it can't attack the base. And its defense is really good, but it's not going to do great against small ships. Or even I guess it's good against small ships just because it has so much health and it does have 3 attack. But against like even like medium-sized ships, it's going to be quite bad. Um, Also, if you play Galactic Ambition with the Maw installation, that's a huge gambit because Galactic Ambition on a 20 HP base to play a unit that costs 15, it's like you play that and you go down to 5 life, assuming you took no damage, and then you win the game on the next action. But what if they play a Fleet Lieutenant and just destroy your base? Like, it's very interesting. It's very very high risk, but potentially really high reward. The reward can just be outright winning the game. But if you get hit by Vanquish, you get hit by Entrenched, your opponent just does damage to your base, it's not necessarily going to work out. So this is a crazy card. It's a really flashy card, both in terms of the concept, the art, and the effects. It's really shocking, but I'm not actually sure that it's that overpowered. Like it seems crazy. Like maybe you play this with like I think honestly the Maw installation combo doesn't seem that good to me because like looking at this like 20 HP, like I don't think you're going to be able to play Galactic Ambition on a unit that costs 15 when your base has 20 HP. I just don't think it's realistic. I think it might actually be better to play this with a 30 HP base and just be like, look, it's not going to come into play ready, so you get like more actions to try to stop me or whatever. But I'm going to Galactic Ambition this, take 15, take the initiative afterwards, and we'll see what happens. And again, if the opponent plays Vanquisher entrenched on it, you probably just lose the game. If this is your only unit and they play Power of the Dark Side, you probably just lose the game. There's a bunch of other stuff that can potentially kill it. They could actually kill it with damage in some situations if they use like a maximum firepower or something to hit it with 2 units, and then maybe take a swing as well to deal the final blow. But yeah, really weird card. Oh, also it's if you play it and they play Waylay, you probably just lose the game. If they exhaust it, you're way behind because you just took 15 damage. So it's a very weird situation. I think that basically, oh, also if you play this for 15, it's sick. But like, are you going to get to 15? I basically see this as a card that is always going to be comboed with Galactic Ambition. If you're playing this, I think it's only with Galactic Ambition. Okay. So those are our two. Those are the two new cards here. The Maw installation and the Suncrusher Karita's Bane. Very interesting area of the Legends lore for them to go into, especially this early in the set, or this early in the game's life. These are like these are pretty crazy. I don't know. Like I remember reading one of these books when I was a kid or something. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, interesting stuff. And yeah, so for one final note before I close down the video, I just want to say happy April Fool's Day and shout out to the original artists for these cards, Eric Herrand and Chris Trevis. I don't know how to pronounce that. These are not real. I made these up. My apologies for clickbaiting you, but if there's one day when clickbaiting is fine, I think it is April Fool's Day. So thanks to y'all for watching, and I will catch you guys later with some non-joke content, either later today or tomorrow. Catch you guys later.